Long-time Auckland posse MCOJ and Rhythm Slave have been responsible for one album, a small pile of singles, and memories of more stonkingly fine gigs than we can count. We got together to talk about the oldies and the newies.
Join at the hip, join at the hip, join at the hip hop, join at the hip, join at the hip hip, join at the hip, join at the hip hop, join at the hip. Some people are joined through holy matrimony, and some dogs are joined through consequences phony. And unlike Siamese twins who are joined at the hip, we're joined at the hip hop. So let the rap trip begin. Joined at the hip hop.
Okay, I'm Otis Frizzell, and my name was MCOJ.
And my name is Mark Williams, and I go by the name of Rhythm Slave, aka MC Slave, aka Loggy Log, aka Uncle Mark.
In Log Cabin.
And the Log Cabin, yes, of course. Of course. Thank you.
We got a crop, never too tight, never too slip slop. Feel like a song that's groovy. Go and get yourself a
Oh yeah.
When we were at high school, we entered a music competition that was hosted by a local radio station at the time, and it was like young artists going to play. And I'd entered with a band. I was playing drums, and we'd entered with couple of my mates. We'd entered our band, and Otis came as a show of support. You know, come to support us and
Support the bros.
And we saw. Anyway, we did our thing, and then got up, and then we were watching the rest of the artists, everybody else playing, and there were some rappers there. Some rap guys got up, and Otis and I, who had been mucking around at school rapping, were like, we could do that, you know. And so we were like, we went down to this desk and said, can we do a last minute entry, you know? And Otis went, I'm MCOJ, and I went, I'm Rhythm Slave, and that was it. And that was how it was, as simple as that. And Otis, of course, MCOJ, Otis John, and Rhythm Slave was because at that time I was basically doing more beatbox than rapping,
And also a drummer.
and I was also a drummer, and I liked Grace Jones, and she wrote a song called "Slave to the Rhythm," so that was it.
And then that was the inception, but we never really sat around and said, let's be rappers. It's sort of, the decisions were made for us because we would do a little show and someone would ask us to do another show, and then people would be like, can you come play at our party? And then someone would be like, oh, can you play at our party? And then someone would be like, I've got a nightclub, can you come and play at the nightclub? So we were never like, we are going to be a rap duo.
We're going to be the greatest rap stars in the whole world. There was never anything like that. It was just more.
We just enjoyed doing it.
We enjoyed doing it, and
the act of doing it made it a real thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the thing is like, particularly in this is the '80s we're talking about. So the thought of being a rapper or hip hop as a thing, it didn't.
Preposterous.
It didn't exist. It just didn't. Not in New Zealand. And so it was just more of a thing. It was, but I do remember with rap, music. It was just that was, part of the reason we gravitated to it, because it was so fresh. It was so new. So I think for us and a lot of our generation, it was so fresh that it was like, oh, this shit's ours. Well, we can do this. You know what I mean? It's like it was something that was preposterous to other people, but for us, it was like, this is some new hype. This is the new thing.
This is the new rock and roll.
This is the new rock and roll. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The funny thing is, if you ask anyone, I would say they would tell you that their generation was the golden generation. However, the actual golden generation is our generation.
It was our fucking generation.
Because because we had the advantage of being the first in Aotearoa, which you can never get there again. So it's like, there was Upper Hut Posse, and there was us, and it was fresh, and there was you, and there was Samoan crews, and there was Māori crews, and there was white crews, and there's Asian rappers, and all of us were the first at what we were doing in this country. So there was something sort of really beautiful. It was quite an electric time because we saw it creating.
Listen to the sound of the bass beat. They got the people swaying like a pendulum. Listen to the sound of the bass beat. They got the
And it was really there was a good unity there because we'd all do gigs together. With two of the, and you know, we were playing with the reggae artists, and so we were like doing these big shows and touring around the country, and like we would show up at venues with like 2 turntables and 2 microphones, and the venue owners would be like, "Where's the fucking drums? Or where's the instruments?
The guitars? Where's the drums?
Where's the instruments?" And we'd be like, "There isn't any." They're like, "Well, aren't you supposed to do a show?" It's like, yeah. We've got like 4 DJs and 8 rappers. We're gonna fucking slay it, and we're just blowing people's minds. So when you get the opportunity to pave the way, then that's kind of special. We just sort of slowly did less and less gigs, and also it sort of kind of evolved into the Mo Show, the TV show, and we would be travelling and editing, I suppose, and gigging less. And again, it wasn't like it's time to stop being.
It's time to put your microphone down.
Yeah, it never happened. And also, you know, it was never a stop-start situation. It was just one thing led to another. We'd do that. We'd be interested in this and music and live and DJ and graffiti and then radio and then TV and then
DLT though, he did take all the demos that we paid for and went and got himself a record deal with it. So that was also a significant ending of the joint force. That was probably a pivotal moment.
Yeah, right. It was that's pivotal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazingly enough, it's because Mark and I famously never fucked anyone off. And so what we did have, which is really great after quite a long career, is a lot of sort of friends in cool places that knew us and thought of us fondly. But like now as a painter, as an artist, these people are buying houses or renting houses and looking for art on the walls, and so I still have a sort of historical, I resonate with them in their mind, and they see my art, they're like, I know that guy, we were mates, he used to play with it, you know. And so a lot of people that buy my art are people that know us from then and think of us favourably, and sort of like same with Mark's doing these gigs, people, there's a nostalgia and they remember him, and like he gets on stage with Freddy's and people are like, fuck, that guy MC'd my first orientation gig at university. So we did all this sort of work. It didn't feel like a foundation work at the time because we were just doing whatever came along, but now as sort of adults, it in retrospect it was a sort of a foundation for what we're doing now. But literally we're both 50 now, right? We met when we were 14.
That's fucking amazing.
Right? And we're still tight, like best friends the whole time. And that means that's like 36 years of a tight friendship. And people are like, well, because people fall out and stuff all the time, and well, we've never had a fight, you know, and people are like, how do you remain friends for so long and never fall out? And Mark was like, because we never made any fucking money. So we never had anything to argue about.
No, you know, no money to fight over, sweet ass, you know. We fortunately we never dated the same girl, you know, we never fight over girls. So it all worked out. Really?
It's good. It's good if you can have someone in your life you can do shit with forever. Because like we're not doing stuff together, but I'm still. He
still does art for me all the time.
Yeah, we're doing posters for his shows, and we hang out.
It's like
drink beers and
there's always
talk shit,
things.
eat dumplings.
Yeah, talk shit, hang out.
Just like greying old homies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're lucky. Yeah, you're lucky if you could get through. You know, get this far in life, and you got a couple of those. You're fucking doing good, I reckon.